Okay, so today we're going on a deep dive into resilience and self-acceptance. You know, those themes that always seem to pop up in the best stories.
It's true. And we're looking at a children's book this time. Or, well, a review of one anyway.
Yeah, yeah. And this one, well, it reminds us that, our limitations don't define us, right? Like it's about believing in yourself even when things get tough and you kind of feel like you don't belong. You ever feel like that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Ugh.
who hasn't? That feeling of not belonging is something so many of us can relate to. It doesn't really matter how old you are.
Right, exactly. And the story, well, it tackles that feeling head on.
So give me the rundown. What's this book about?
So the main character is this little rabbit named Peter, and he's got a speech impediment, which makes him feel like, you know, isolated, misunderstood,
Hmm.
especially by the other rabbits. Can you imagine that, being a little bunny who can't quite keep up with all the chatter?
Oh, I can only imagine. Especially for kids, right? When they're still figuring themselves out. Feeling different can be really tough at that age. But it sounds like, well, Peter wasn't totally alone.
No, he wasn't. Thank goodness for Mrs. Thompson.
Yeah.
She's Peter's owner, and gosh, she's just the best. I mean, she really sees Peter, not just the stutter.
That's so important, right? Having someone who can see beyond the surface.
It is. And the review actually quotes Mrs. Thompson. She tells Peter, "Your words may stumble, Peter, but your heart speaks volumes."
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's beautiful. It really emphasizes how important it is to have those people in your life who, well, they just get you. They help you feel seen and build your confidence, not just with empty words, but by truly believing in you.
Yeah. And Mrs. Thompson, well, she doesn't just talk the talk. She really walks the walk. She encourages Peter to embrace his love for gardening. She helps him find a way to express himself, without needing to rely on words so much.
It's like she's giving him the space to bloom on his own terms.
Exactly. And it's her belief in him that leads Peter to, get this, enter a prestigious bunny show.
Hold on, he does what? He enters a bunny show, knowing he's going to be judged, and probably for the very thing that makes him feel insecure.
Yep, that's Peter for you. Brave little guy.
Talk about a leap of faith.
Well, it is. The book really captures all of Peter's anxieties leading up to the show. There's this one part where he's picturing all the other rabbits staring at him, their noses twitching, kind of laughing at him when he stumbles over those words.
Oof. Yeah, I can practically hear those snickers now.
Right. But then he remembers what Mrs. Thompson told him. And it's like this wave of determination just washes over him. He's ready to face his fears.
It's like that saying, courage isn't the absence of fear, right? But choosing to act despite it.
Absolutely. And, having people like Mrs. Thompson in your corner definitely makes facing those fears a little easier. So the big day arrives. Peter's standing in front of the judges, heart probably pounding out of his chest.
I bet. So what happens? Does he freeze up?
He stumbles a bit, yeah, but he keeps going. He answers the questions, and guess what?
He wins.
He wins. Best of show.
Wow. That's a pretty feel-good ending. But it makes me wonder, is winning, always necessary for self-acceptance? Are there other ways to embrace who you are?
That's a great point. The story definitely focuses on the validation that comes with winning. But I think for Peter, the realest victory happened before the judges even said anything. It was the act of showing up,
Yeah.
of facing that fear and refusing to let his stutter define him.
I agree. The trophy's nice, but the real transformation happened inside him.
Exactly. And that transformation, well, it kind of has a ripple effect. The story ends with Peter becoming this inspiration for other rabbits who feel different. He shows them that, it's okay to stand out, to embrace those things that make you you.
It's like that idea of paying it forward, right? One person's journey of self-acceptance can inspire a whole community.
It really can. So what do you think? What's the big takeaway here?
I think it's pretty clear. Don't let those perceived limitations hold you back. Whatever it is you're struggling with, well, embrace it. You never know who you might inspire.
Or who might inspire you? Thanks for joining me for this deep dive.